Good morning, people studying at 8. I must say I am so pleased to see many people here today, and I must thank every single one of you. I thought when this campaign of mine started, I had no chance to stand up for president. But I fought on because you, the people, the supporters that have continued to support me, the Green Party, and our members throughout these complex and trying times. But I promise you all, if you elect me as your president, that you will see a brighter future to this beloved colony. Don't let capitalism and corporate greed take more away from you. I, as your president, will give you, the people, freedom, give the homeless a reason to live, and give this colony a future.
Roberta Wilson, if you please. I'm a reporter for the Kindle Mail. If I may, I wish to ask a question.
Why, of course. Please, ask away.
Project 56. We've heard the rumors, the mentions, the conspiracy theories. What is it?
Well, I'll confess, I've introduced many ideas during this campaign of mine for my party, but I have heard the rumors myself, and please do not worry. The Green Party do not believe in false politics and defy all that corrupt its values. Project 56 is a project conducted and supervised by a Professor Armstrong of the Armstrong Institute. He has come up with a revolutionary idea that will help save people, not only of this colony, but mankind in general. What we propose has been in progress for some time, an idea that will give many people lives that they wouldn't have dreamed of. But we are also proposing an answer to everyone's questions. And do you know what that question is? It's something we all ask ourselves from time and again, particularly in times we lose a loved one, in hope that perhaps something better's out there, just waiting for them.
Well, I don't know. Please, tell.
Is heaven real?
It's just me, you know.
Sorry?
Me. Just me. No family to speak of. Was an only child. And well, my wife and I wanted children, but she passed away young. Trained as a doctor after all of that, I thought to myself that perhaps if I couldn't save one life, perhaps I could save others. Well, save some, but some passed away. Nobody's fault, but I felt guilty. Somehow, I was the one who killed them, and it always reminded me of her whenever someone would die. I lived a secluded life. I tried to move on, but it seems the ultimate change I wanted in my life would lead to my death. And here I am, dying of old age. Funny, isn't it?
I'm sorry.
Don't be. I'm happy. Happy that perhaps now I can have another chance. Is heaven real? Do you think?
Maybe.
I see. Will this work?
I don't know. Do you believe it will?
I hope so. But before I go, I want to hear those 2 words for the very last time, if you would please.
Sure thing. What is it?
My name. What is it again? Sometimes I forget. Dementia, I suppose, but yet again, I don't think I care enough to remember.
It's Rachel. Rachel Smith.
Thank you. May I ask yours before I go?
You may. I'm Hayley. Hayley Stokes.
Hayley. It's a beautiful name.
Well, I'm finally here. Nurse, will you please?
Yes. You promise it won't hurt the poor woman?
Yes, I'm quite sure. There'll be a twinge of discomfort, of course, but the patient will not suffer. In fact, by the time this is done, I'm sure she'll be quite thankful of me.
Get it over and done with, Professor. I'm ready.
Please allow me to share my condolences before you go. It's a shame to lose a life quite as beautiful as yours, but I promise you, you will be happy. Happier than you've ever been before. Goodbye.
You're hurting her.
No, she's just going through some minor discomfort. It'll be over soon. Soon. It's over.
So, what now? What happens to her now?
Ah, well, you see, I can't spoil all the details. Not yet, anyway. After all, this is only an experiment. Not that she knew, of course. Unless you whispered it to her?
Of course not, Professor.
Good. After all, that would have meant violating your terms of the contract. She is safe, of course. There's a heaven now, and she'll wake up to find out she has a new life. A life she's always believed she's lived in. A life that will make her happier than she's ever been before. After all, we at the project like to make sure our motto is guaranteed.
Good morning, sleepyhead.
What? Darling, your clothes. This doesn't...
Rachel? It's Rachel, isn't it? I'm sorry. I'm afraid I'm not. Not anymore. The woman I was, well, personally I didn't like her all that much. Very unlike me, but at the same time, very much like me. But she was special. Special to you, anyway.
So, you're a doctor?
The doctor. The definite article, you might say. Gosh, that was unoriginal. Should probably think up more original quotes for this incarnation. Oh well.
Right, and what about...
She wasn't real. She was a character of my own design, a character I made up, a character I needed to develop and produce in order for me to come here. But it seems to my dismay that the system has figured it out.
System? What on earth are you talking about?
It's complicated, but I thought by now you would know, but you don't, do you? How curious.
I have no idea, and who are you? What happened to the professor, and what did you do to her?
Oh, but you already know me, Daniel. Remember when you spoke to the professor earlier about your dreams?
Yes, so what? They were dreams, nothing more.
They were not dreams. They were memories. Memories of the man you should be, Mr. Karlen. Think back. Think back to who you are. What you did. Remember. Remember!
No. No, that isn't me. It's not me.
I'm sorry to say it is. You may be deluding yourself now. After all, that's the only plausible explanation I can think of. You haven't woken up yet, as it were, but don't worry. You'll find yourself eventually believing in what I say sooner or later.
Can someone please explain to me what's going on?
Shush! Daniel, I brought you and Hayley here to Project 56. It's why you've been having these dreams. They're dreams to wake you two up, but it seems I only have you now. Somehow the system guessed what I was up to and decided to put a flaw in my plan. Typical. But I still have you, so what will it be? Daniel, will you help me, or do I have to do this alone? Your choice.
Well, I don't know. I don't know, okay?
Well, whatever you decide, you need me. Go on, check your torches.
But I don't see.
Seriously, Luke? None of our torches are working. I know we've been using them a lot, but to lose them all simultaneously, isn't that too much of a coincidence?
So, you're suggesting... No, that's impossible.
Oh, but it very much is. Our friend out there said he wasn't going to mess around anymore. Now he wishes to crush all your last hopes, and he can get away with it. Because here, he's not any ordinary monster. No, he's a god.
Come on in.
You're a partner in business. Roberta Wilson's here to see you, Professor.
Well, don't just stand there, let her in.
Well, come on, give me the dirt. What is it you want to see me about? I hope it isn't wasting my time. A most important meeting should be going on about now, but instead you decide to throw threats at me if I didn't come. I could stop funding, you know.
I am aware of that, Roberta, but I can assure you what has happened is of great importance. It's about Project 56. Something has happened to the system.
Professor, if I have just wasted 7 million credits on a project that was doomed to fail from the start, then I wouldn't have authorized it. If you're saying you're giving up...
Oh, no. Come on, I'll show you. Impressed? I'm not. After all, this is the very least of my expertise. I could do so much more, you know, with just a little more funding.
Yes, I don't distrust that fact, but all the same, you haven't proved a single thing. I'll give you more money when the experiment is complete, and then we can think about making this something bigger.
I see. Well, you'll be interested to know that this data cloud of ours generates a whole new reality. A reality where even the dead can keep on living. If I'm not mistaken, you've asked me a number of times about the headsets, no?
Yes, I have always wondered, but you have always been so vague.
Well, here's a short and easy answer for you. They're put over the dying body of a poor innocent to collect the last remaining data of the brain, of who they are, what they do, their memories, and so on. It gives a little bit of a shock, a gentle one, but it allows the wearer with the surprise to find out it eases their passing. It may seem crude, but at the same time it's merciful.
I see. But why are you telling me this all now? I mean, I knew enough to fund this project and have great interest into it all, but the answers, why now?
It's because something has gone wrong. Someone's hacked into the system. I don't know. I don't know how it's possible, but somehow an unregistered life form and 2 unknown anomalies have appeared in the system itself. One of them has been eradicated, of course, but the other 2 lay at large. And if they interfere with the reality we have set up for the occupants, then what will happen next? The answer is we're not going to find out.
So a system set up to be impossible to hack into has been hacked into. Good God, if this gets into the press, my whole campaign, it'll be ruined.
It won't, I assure you. I'll confess. The unregistered occupants haven't done too much damage, but one of them has. Just one of them has been messing around with the system, and now it's developed a rogue element, which, if not dealt with, is extremely dangerous.
Dangerous? How?
Well, if something within the system is changing everything about how the system works as a whole, then what does that mean for the living occupants within that system?
Are you saying, even in a world where, aside from a few minor illnesses to keep the reality realistic enough, that death is now possible? Are you saying actual people can die in there?
Yes, I am. It seems as if something within the system has developed a mind of its own, and well, it's decoding and writing up a new series of code within the systems. Code that should have never been written, which I'm afraid could prove deadly.
This is insane! Utter insanity! None of this makes any kind of sense! And as a scientist, I should know! Everything happening here right now defeats the whole concept of physical reality!
Who said this was a physical reality? I didn't.
Then what is it?
I can't tell you.
And why heavens not? Where's my wife?
Because if I do, it'll break your hearts! We need to get out of here. The longer we stay around, the more danger we're in. That creature is hunting for us, and we need to fight back.
But we only have 2 firearms, and if this creature is rebuilding itself reusing our internal organs and outer body parts, how can we defeat it when it constantly rebuilds and rebuilds itself until nothing is left of us?
We don't. We corrupt the system that it has built itself into. Come on.
Alright, you said it was an emergency, so what is it? I may not like having to sit beside the dying, but at least I get to give them some company as they say their final goodbyes. So, what is it?
Do you trust her?
Who?
Who do you think? The doctor?
Alright, calm your tits. What's happened?
Do you think she's always on the side of good? That no matter how callous she can be sometimes, that she is always the hero in the end?
Well, I haven't really traveled with you two for long, but from what I've seen, yes, I suppose she is. After all, she did give the master a run for his money.
But what if this time she isn't doing good at all? What if she's got it all wrong?
Sorry?
Hayley, something is happening within the system. I don't know what, but as soon as the doctor started interfering with it, well, the system has started to corrupt.
Corrupt? You mean she's not making it better, but she's making it worse?
That's exactly what I mean. If I am guessing correctly, we aren't dealing with a monster. No, it's something far worse. This time we're the monsters. There's something I want you to do.
What is it?
I need you to find the records of these people. Anyone who's subjugated to Project 56. I want to find out the cause of death for each and every one of them.
I mean, it'll be hard and somewhat illegal, but I'll do it.
Thank you. Then we stop her. We stop the doctor. This time she needs our help.
Is it me? Or has the hair gone thinner?
You're not wrong. I suggest we start saving our breath. Even speaking could be wasting valuable oxygen.
Oxygen? Oh yes, the oxygen supply. But, oh, if you only knew. How does it feel?
I can barely breathe. It's like as if something is slowly taking the life out of me. It's...
She'll be fine, just unconscious. She'll be standing up again in no time.
That's easy for you to say, but you still haven't answered any of our questions!
And I told you I can't. Don't you understand?
No, we don't. Look, it's obvious we're all going to die anyway, so you might as well spill the beans.
I can't. I just can't.
Doctor!
Leave her. She can't help us. No one can.
Why can't they listen? Why can't they understand? All I'm trying to do is help. Am I in the right? No. Of course I am. But why am I crying? This shouldn't be possible! It all feels so real, it all smells so real, but yet I know it's not.
How do you feel? Oh, don't mind me. I won't hurt you. Not yet. But here's the thing. You ask yourself, why don't they understand? Why don't they listen? Well, the simple truth is, because you won't. Haven't you stopped to think what you could be doing is wrong?
No, it isn't wrong. It's right. This whole project, it's everything I stand against. It's abhorrent. As someone who goes around saving whole planets, civilizations, and even sometimes the smallest of people, even I understand that death has a place in the universe, and that nothing can beat it. Changing the simple laws of the universe is wrong, because the truth is, nobody wants to live forever. Oh, sometimes they think they do, but in the end, they realize that immortality isn't always what it's made out to be. Immortality's cruel!
Immortality? There's nothing of the sort. It's a different life. You should know and understand this. Humans have a very distinct perspective of having a different life. It isn't as simple as changing a face. It's a whole new experience. I suppose I should thank you, however.
Why? Why should you thank me?
Because you opened your mind to the system. Every memory, every loss, every love story, every sorrow, even your fears have been released to the system. Fears of the hybrid! And so I was born, a rogue element taking on the existence of everything you feared. Have you told Daniel? No, I suppose not. But because of him and Hayley, I am here now! I must confess, having them contribute to your plan wasn't a brilliant idea. After all, it helped to corrupt the data within these systems, giving me a small pathogen of former life. How does it feel, Doctor, that perhaps you're the reason this is all happening?
No, you're just here to torment me.
Face it, Time Lord, you wanted a monster, and so you got one. You're nothing without something to fight against. Nothing!
Oh, hello, Hayley. What brings you here? I'll confess, it's not very often one of the nurses comes down. What can I do for you?
Oh, Alexander, is it?
Oh, how do you know?
Well, I didn't. I just read your name badge.
Oh, I see. What can I do for you?
I heard you keep medical records in store here. It's just that Professor Armstrong is asking for the ones on the Project 56 subjects.
I see. I thought he wasn't coming down today, you know. Strange fellow, isn't he? But I suppose it shouldn't surprise me. Now, let me find it. Aha, here it is. We were asked to compile all the subjects into the same folder, since by the time of their passing they were all connected to the project. But I will say now, mainly because I am required to, that it is improper to read through these without proper authorization. But I'm sure you're aware of that.
Yes, don't you worry. I wouldn't want to break a rule or two now, would I? I'm new around here, and I wouldn't want to put my first job at jeopardy.
Thought so. You always seem like a nice girl to me, and a pretty one too, I must say. Here you go.
Why, thank you. Creep.
I'm sorry. I know you never felt anything. Well, not really anyway. All the same, I'm sorry. I truly am. No more.
Oh, Doctor, what have you done? So, how did you guys meet? If you don't mind me asking so.
Luca!
Well, you see, funnily enough, back when the colony was young and all, me and Amy met at a university, if you believe. We were in the same class as it turned out. Scientific engineering and all that stuff, and, well, we bickered for a while like we were two all-powerful foes. But I don't know, something brought us together like it was fate, and even amongst all that bickering, we fell for each other, and that was that, really. Got married eventually and planned to have children, but then... Amy?
I know. I've only just realized myself.
What is it?
We were sad. Very sad. But the problem is they don't know what happened after all that.
Josephine?
I kinda hoped you lot wouldn't get this far, but of course, whilst I was away, you started to figure it out.
Figured what out?
What the project has done to you is giving you a life you lot have always dreamt of, a life where you could be happy, but in doing so, it's made a false projection of one. Your memories have been distorted, manipulated to remove all the negatives, all of the things that have changed your life. Your very existences have been altered so much that you don't exist anymore, not really, but even then you feel happiness, you feel pain. Project 56 is a cloud, a data cloud. A cloud that will, if the project succeeds, become heaven itself. But the angels on that cloud aren't angels. They're ghosts. You're all dead.
No. You're lying.
I can assure you I'm not.
Then if what you're saying is true, what happened to us? What happened to all of us?
Oh, Rachel. I'm so sorry. I know you think I'm your wife, but I'm not. You did have a wife, and she was beautiful. You loved her. You loved her very much. But she died when you two were young. And because of that, you became a doctor. Trying to save lives. It's what I would have done. But in the end, you died alone and came here. You signed up for Project 56. The developmental program for heaven. A literal representation of the idea. This whole lab is a small part of it. This place is nothing major, but what connects you all is that it brings you all together. And this place is vital to how the whole system develops. But the system gave up on you. It doesn't need you anymore. All the power you produce from the work you have done here has been an important part in creating this realm. You see, the emotions you release during the process is what gives the system data. Not electronic pulses, but raw human emotions. If I am right, the hybrid, or rather technically what would be referred to as a rogue element or a virus, has been using that data to manifest itself, to develop. It only started because of me, but all the same, it needed you lot. It needed the raw emotion you put into your work. And it fed off that and it grew. Because, like the rest of the data in this reality, it needed human emotion to develop, to improve, to understand, and it's used it. Manipulated you for its own ends. Have you noticed something?
Well, I don't know what we haven't noticed, so please explain.
The virus is the little things Worsted has developed, like me and Luke seeing the very decomposing body of Hayley Stokes coming back to life to greet us from the living dead.
Luke! You didn't say anything about this!
I'm sorry, I thought it'd be best I didn't tell you.
But my wife?
Your wife, I am sorry to say, has been removed from your mind and replaced her with me. Every memory you hold of your wife has me in her place. That's why I want to end this. All of this. Because it's changed every single one of you. And because, as much as I hate to admit it, the one chance you get at life is the best you're going to get. Because there is no such thing as the next life. And whenever there is, you will always be disappointed and wanting more. Because not everyone you lost will be there. Only you.
And what about us? What about me and Amy? What happened to us?
Do you really want to know? Haven't you realized it yet? You're all breathing normally again.
But I don't understand.
Oh, but you do, Daniel. You do. Haven't you figured it out yet? Seriously? None of you? It's obvious. Even though you don't want to believe what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying to be the truth. You know it, and the system knows it. You lot were never losing oxygen. The system simply played with your minds to make you think you were. And so the system is losing its grip upon you, in this reality ever so slowly. But if I tell you any more, what will happen once you realize the true extent of the situation? You don't want to know.
Oh, stop with the nonsense for 1 second, please! I want some answers, and I'm going to get them. You hear me? So please, if you'll ever be so kind to explain to us, Doctor, or whoever you are, what happened to me? What happened to my wife?
Luke Goss, born in the year 7097, committed suicide after the loss of his wife, Amy, who died of heart disease.
No, we'll lose them!
Ben Newman, born in year 7092, multiple gunshots to the groin after being caught in a small raid at a speakeasy after a tip-off about the harboring of illegal aliens.
Crikey, look at those legs. They're going for miles, Harry, old chum.
Oh really? I haven't noticed. Not my thing personally, but I'm sure after the show you'll get a telescreen number. Oh shit, coppers! Run for it! Oh, Ben, come on, man, hurry!
Just 1 second, my legs aren't so good these days. Ah! Oh god. My balls. You shot my fucking balls! You cunts! Ah!
Oh, Doctor, when will you learn you can't save everyone?
Luke, Amy was very unwell. She was suffering with heart problems, heart attacks, and so forth. She put on a good fight, but eventually she passed. She gave up. We both made the decision to let her go. You didn't want her to suffer anymore. But what happened next? Oh, Luke, I'm so sorry.
I killed myself.
Passed away while in critical condition at the ward. The doctors and nurses tried their best, but it was no good. This is exactly why I didn't want to explain all this to you lot in the first place. so none of you would have had to find out the terrible fates your past lives left behind.
But what about Amy? She...
I think she knows, don't you, Amy?
Amy? What is it?
I was never a part of the project! Was I?
No, you're not real. The only real people here are me, Rachel, Luke, and what is left of Ben, and even then, we're only half real. But you and Daniel are nothing but forms created from our imagination. I'm sorry, Luke. You dreamt her into existence. That was a part of the deal you made when you signed for the project. Same with you, Rachel. But instead of imagining the system, it changed its mind and used me instead. The system, or rather the virus itself, has played with us all, and I have tried to fight against it, which is why you're here, Daniel. You and Hayley. You too are real, but not here. Not in this simulation.
Simulation?
Yes, this is a computer-generated reality. A reality totally based upon code and human ingenuity. And you are the subjects. The subjects of this project. Like something out of a bad sci-fi novel. But I can assure you it's all real. It's all very much real. As real it can be in a false reality, that is.
It's alright. I'm here. I'm here.
But you're not real.
I may not be real, but even in death, I am with you. Always with you. In your heart. Never forget that!
But Amy? Amy!
See why I didn't want to tell you? You stopped believing, and so the system has nothing else to give you. Tossed her aside into the recycle bin, as it were. She's gone. You've lost her forever.
No! No! You bitch!
Venusian Aikido, an old trick. A favorite of mine.
Bring her back. Please.
I can't. She means nothing to the system now. She's nothing but data to remove. You'll forget about her. The pain won't last very long.
No. No! I'd rather die before I forget about her. I'd rather die!
Wait! Please! No!
I know you can hear me. Please. Hurt me. Please. Just kill me. If I can't live without her, then there's no reason to live at all.
Your wish is my command. And so it begins. Now they've all figured it out. How long do you think it'll take before Rachel decides she wants to die?
I won't let her.
No, after all, she has nothing to lose. You see what you've done, Doctor? Yes, Ben Newman was an unfortunate individual for you to try and save, but he was, after all, just a little rat to play with. To try out, perhaps he deserved it.
Nobody deserves this.
Well, you brought it all upon them, Doctor. All the pain and misery which should be better forgotten about. But no, you being the almighty hero you are, stepped in and took it all away. And now, even in death, all they want is to die again. Perhaps then it'll all be over. Who knows? Maybe heaven is real.
You're not real. You just corrupted data. A virus that I created when I came into this reality.
Yes, I am. But here's the thing. You still believe it. You believe what you're seeing because you're scared. You're still scared after so many lifetimes. What will it take for you to stop? Perhaps just this once, Doctor. The monsters win!
No, never.
Then you know what to do. But you're too weak. Pathetic. How many lives do you think you'll take before you learn the truth? The truth that the hybrid is something more than a Time Lord fairy tale to scare little time tops. Come with me.
No.
Oh, but you will. After all, don't you want to go back? Don't you want to go home? Don't you want to get over your fear? I may be a monster, but I am your salvation! Come!
No! Daniel!
Ah, so in the end, he realized who he was, and all he wanted to do was help. help you! Even in a false reality, he is ever so loyal to you, isn't he, Doctor?
Yes, I don't give him enough credit, do I?
Oh, well, I won't use this. Pointless, really. Pointless because of what's about to come. Coming, Doctor? You ready?
Never.
Good.
I came here as soon as I could. I have heard there's been a death in the systems.
Yes, I'm rather afraid a significant life sign has been lost. Some few hours ago, in fact. My team are trying to decipher the cause of this death, but it's hard when it comes to reading data such as this.
Professor, it's happened again! There's another spike in the system! Another life has been lost!
Shit!
That's not all, sir. The system's gone haywire. Heaven is falling!
Impossible! No, of course. The rogue element, it's rewritten the very core of the system, so much so that the machinery can't handle it.
What should we do, sir?
I don't know, but it looks to me as it's about to explode!
I agree. If this goes on for any longer, the machine will not only explode, but implode. We need to evacuate immediately.
Memories. Your memories. Not fully there, but that's because he never knew them. And you wonder why they never liked you? Because he never talked to them. You never played with them. You thought like the big-headed idiot you are, that you were better than them. And somehow, you always wondered why they picked on you. But you knew that, didn't you, Doctor? You've always known. Sometimes it takes someone else to point out the obvious, doesn't it?
Badger? Innocent? Quences?
Come, Doctor.
It is time for your appointment. Please, cousin, do take a seat.
No! No! Let me go!
Oh, but don't you want my help, cousin? Or do you prefer doctor? Come now, you can speak to me. I am your cousin after all. We're family. I have always helped you, always cared for you. Like a father. No one would have guessed we were cousins. But all of us here are cousins, aren't we? Except for poor Badger, of course. He's only a machine. Poor thing. But us, Doctor, well, we're the closest to you, aren't we? We even know your name, but we don't dare say it, because you would ever so hate us. Innocent has something to say to you, something she should have told you a long time ago. But of course, she never saw the need, because she always knew that you knew that the hybrid was only a fiction, a fantasy. And yet, Doctor, you conjured up a nightmarish demon within your mind, a demon that consumed you and your fears. Innocent.
Yes, I'm sorry, cousin. I should have told you. I'm afraid the hybrid isn't real. It was just just a silly story we told back in the nurseries, back when you were all young. Oh yes, there is still a grain of truth to it. But the truth is, it was an accident. It was just a little accident that happened with a time vortex experiment. The poor Time Lord, whoever he was, became not just one with the future, but one with the past. And he saw everything from the dark times to the end of days. Parts of him grew old and decrepit, whilst others grew young and firm. But his mind was frazzled. He saw too much for even a brain as big as a Time Lord's to cope with. He went mad in the end, but he died after being shot down in mercy. But that's all it was, an accident.
I know that, but
you still believe that even after all that, still afraid that no matter what I've said, the hybrid is still real, and that it might come out from underneath your bed and take you away. That's why you never sleep. It's never because you never needed it. I mean, it's partially true. But all the same, it's because you're just so scared, unfortunately. It seems you need some help. You need some help in realizing what you really fear, cousin. The truth is, Doctor, this is what you fear. You fear yourself. You fear that one day you will become the Valeyard.
no, so that's it. I don't fear the hybrid, not really. It's only a story after all. No, what I fear the most is not a fairy tale, but myself. But why? Why did you do this? Don't you realize this will mean the end of your existence? Now you've shown me a truth I had been hiding from even myself. You have nothing left in this reality to hold your grips onto. No one left to toy with, as you please. The system will simply be wiped clean. Why?
Oh, Doctor, I never cared about my own existence. All I cared about was showing you who you really are.
Rachel! Oh, Rachel!
What's happening?
I'm so sorry. This was all my fault. None of this would have happened if I didn't interfere. I'm so sorry. I just wanted to help.
It's alright. I have to thank you, you know? You showed me the light, the truth of things, and now... Look. Is that Data up there?
Yes, this reality is collapsing all around us, and soon, well, I'll wake up, and I suppose I'll be finding that I have a lot of a mess to clean up. But I can't say the same for you. Sorry you had another chance, but I ruined it.
It's alright. You know I rather love Josephine.
I'm glad to hear. All the same, it wasn't Josephine you loved. It was the memory of your deceased wife. At least she was able to bring you some happiness. I'll admit my plan to get here was to produce 3 imaginary characters based on me and my friends, because the machine only allowed for the data of memory to be used. But I found a way around it, created the avatars, manipulated the code a bit with the headset I borrowed. Well, I say borrowed. And I was able to connect my mind into this reality and connect into the body of my avatar. But I showed the system too much of what belonged to me, belonged to my thoughts, showed it the people I love, but also the things I feared. But it's over now. The hybrid is gone. The rogue element has nothing to latch onto anymore, for my fear was already there without it, and that fear was me. I'm a mess, aren't I?
Yes, you are. But I think it's time for you to wake up, don't you think? Give me one last time with Josephine. She may not be my wife, but if what you say is true, she is but a shadow.
Yes, sounds good. Goodbye. Oh, and one more thing. If you remembered, I called you River earlier. I'm sure that made your mind wander a bit, did it not?
Yes, I wondered about that. Who were they?
She was my wife.
You called?
Yes, I got the death certificates. Daniel, I just...
I see. Well, you know what we have to do now, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Oh, Josephine, I've missed you.
What do you mean? What I was going to say, I'm always in your heart. I may have been gone, but I'll always be within you. The doctor was wrong. I may have taken her form, but your wife, the system still remembers her. Still remembers Summer.
Summer, it's you. I remember.
Hello, darling.
I've missed you. You have no idea.
I missed you too, but we don't have long. Reality is going to rip itself apart any minute. One last kiss for the road?
You know, I can never say no.
Shit!
Oh, Doctor, what have you done?
Ask her yourself. Doctor, what did you do?
I made a mistake. I meddled in things I shouldn't have and just made things worse. Humanity is once again at fault. We shouldn't have manipulated the memories of those victims. But all the same, they were happy, and I took that away from them. What does that make me know?
I know what it makes you. It makes you a hypocrite. You saunter out and around in the universe fighting injustice and saving lives, but in the end, you're just as bad as the dark forces you fight against. Look, I like you, Doctor, but if this keeps going on, I don't know what I'll do. Boreas, the Cadillacs, and now a small group of humans you thought you were saving, but in fact you did the opposite.
Yes, I know, but they were just data. Data collected by the headsets just before the deaths of those who sold themselves out for the project. It's cruel to say, but it's true.
I don't know what to say.
I do. Doctor, if you want to do the right thing, then do so now. I know you don't like to stay out for the aftermath, but this time, please make up for your mistakes.
Yes, of course. You're right, you both are. We'll stay behind, make sure no one's hurt, and then go back to the TARDIS. How does that sound?
Sounds fine to me. But Doctor, we tried to help. We did our...
I know, but I was wrong. But thank you. I want to go and talk to this Professor Armstrong. He needs a good talking to.
Oh, my project. Oh, it's a ruin. All my life's work all ended with this? A whimper and a big bang?
Oh, don't look so down-faced. After all this, I'm sure I'll hit the media networks and in turn damage my campaign. You may have lost your little project, Professor, but I have lost the game for my whole party. And now one of those other losers will get in, just as always. After all, my whole campaign depended on this project, and now it's gone! Unless we could turn it all around. Perhaps maybe we could come up with an alibi. Then, Professor, maybe we could come up with something else. Something that will make the people decide that I am a suitable candidate for president.
Yes, but before you do, Professor Armstrong?
Daniel? Hayley? What is the meaning of this?
Sorry, sir. I'm afraid we've been deceiving you.
Yes, you see, I'm the one he's really been working for. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm the Doctor. We have been investigating Project 56, the Heaven program, and I've got to say, I am appalled.
How do you know? Daniel?
I know a lot of things, but I do know that as much as heaven as a concept may be ideal for some, it isn't ideal for anyone to have their memories manipulated and distorted, is it, Roberta? What would the people think if this information were to come out for the whole colony to see? What would Earth's leading government think then?
You have no proof.
No proof? Well, my friend Daniel here borrowed one of your headsets for me. Thank you, by the way. They were most fascinating.
You bastards! I may not be up to the best of my health as of now, but I can assure you when I am, you'll be arrested for this.
I can do one better. Guards, apprehend them!
Oh, you don't want to do that. After all, I have all the evidence I need to put both of you up for trial, but I will let this pass only if you two promise not to conduct this experiment again. If you do, I will come back, and next time, I won't be so merciful. What will it be, Roberta? Professor, what will it be?
Good evening, citizens. I am so thankful to see many people here today. I must thank every single one of you for attending tonight's rally.
Roberta Wilson?
Damn it, it's the same bloke again. Yes, sir?
Earlier this afternoon, we heard of a disruption in downtown Central. I believe you and a Professor Armstrong barely escaped with your lives. What does this mean for the so-called Project 56 you proposed?
Interesting question. But first of, I am pleased to hear that nobody was killed during the incident, which I think we can all be thankful of. But as for Project 56, after the incident, I have decided to cut all ties with what is left of Armstrong Institute. Now, if we could please continue.
Miss Wilson!
Yes?
You still haven't explained what this project was. May you please address us, the people, the details of what exactly you proposed?
Well,
It's over, Daniel. Go and check up on him, will you? I messed up. I know I have. But at the end of the day, it had to be stopped. Didn't it, Hayley?
I don't know. On one hand, I agree with Daniel, but on the other, Never mind. He'll be fine, I think.
And so they leave me. They always leave me. I can make up for this. I know I can.